Hi, and welcome to another episode of the First Time Homebuyers Podcast. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Tom Sommers, with Coldwell Banker Burnett in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced in Pittsburgh. How are you doing today, Eric?
Fantastic. Great to be here as usual.
Wonderful. We want to send an apology out to everybody that's watching us that might have missed it last week. We apologize, but we were both extremely busy with sales and just couldn't get it together last week. So we'll try to keep that to a minimum. We really are committed to making this a consistent podcast of every week. So thank you again for tuning in. We today are continuing our conversation about the steps of purchasing a home. And today we are going to talk about home insurance. Now, neither one of us are insurance agents. We're not going to give you advice about that. We're not licensed, but we want to talk a little bit about what the home insurance will do for you, not so much the specifics of the coverage, but why you need it, how it plays into purchasing a home. Eric, do you want to start us off as always? What are your thoughts on this?
Sure, absolutely. The most common way people think initially about getting their home insurance is they simply just call up their car insurance company, or they call up someone that they're already doing business with on the insurance front. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, as Tommy will probably allude to in a little bit here, it does pay at times to shop around when it comes to insurance. We're not saying don't do that. We're also saying to you, though, if you're not inclined to get into a pricing war, you don't want to spend that much time there, and you're not real comfortable with your current insurance circumstances, part of the team that we put together as a good referral source is we have insurance agents that have done tremendous work for our buyers. And we would certainly like to provide you those referrals. And again, it's nothing to do with remuneration for Tommy or I. It's just about getting you the best insurance from an agent we trust, from a company we trust, so your house is protected from day one. It's absolutely vital. And I can't stress that enough. It's part of the services we provide as realtors, trust in our referrals, and insurance agents are certainly part of that.
Yeah, and to your point, the biggest thing that was on my mind, knowing that we were going to do this show today, was making sure that people understood the difference between buying a townhome and a condo versus buying a single-family home. So we're speaking more to people today that are buying a single-family home, because most often when you purchase a townhome or a condominium, you have homeowner's insurance wrapped into your monthly hazard insurance, your monthly fee, your association fee. So from a single family standpoint, the thing I really want to point out that I've seen some people struggle with is you have to have a year's worth of home insurance the day you close, because the first payment you make is going to be 1/12 towards next year's insurance. So don't wait till the last minute. This is just as important as giving all of your documents to your loan officer. Correct. If you have time to shop around, you will get much better terms and a much better rate. You wait till the last minute, and you're going to pay a lot more than you should.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I just to add to that, and there's some differences between, Minneapolis and Pittsburgh, obviously, in regards to how we close. But the one similarity is we actually require a year of escrow as well for insurance, just like you do in Minneapolis. And I can't stress enough that you do not want to wait till the end, whether you're getting a referral from your realtor or you're going to take it upon yourself to shop around. Do it early in the process. Do it roughly around the same time you fill out your mortgage application. Get it well in advance, without a doubt.
Yeah, and I think that it's one of those things that a lot of people aren't being made aware of from some of the agents out there. This is a critical piece to the whole thing. Now, when it comes to insurance as a whole, I can tell you from experience that if you work with a company that you do your auto insurance with as well, and you bundle, you're going to be getting a considerably better rate. I personally take one of the highest deductibles I can on my home, because I'm not going to call the insurance company over something minor. I'm just going to fix it myself, because then your rates go up. I take a high deductible because I'm concerned about the house burning down, the roof being ripped off, something that's going to be a huge expense. So when you're shopping, keep that in mind too. And a good agent will tell you, here are your choices, and this is what you should do. as far as homeowners insurance goes for a townhome or a condo, essentially at that point, because it's mixed up into the hazard insurance as part of your association dues, you really only need what they would consider or call renter's insurance, which is just
Right.
insurance on your personal items.
Correct.
And that's, I don't know, $150 a year. It's relatively inexpensive. So we don't have a ton to say today about this particular subject. We just wanted to make sure that you were aware that this is part of the process because it gets overlooked.
I wanted to add too that if we're going to get into any specifics at all here, and we really don't want to do that heavily because we're not insurance agents, I do want to point out what I always point out to my buyer clients here, especially being that I'm from Pittsburgh, and I think Tommy's got a little bit in his area as well. We have a wide variety of homes in this area, and in Western Pennsylvania, we have a lot of older homes. There's two ways to handle this insurance. One of them is replacement cost. Okay, so you can buy a policy which is a little more money, but it's actually going to, if your house burns down, when it comes to the actual physical dwelling itself, this insurance company will pay to have your house built to near the same exact quality that it was built in 1920. Okay, I live in a 1909 home, a prairie style home, 5 bedrooms. My insurance is a little more because my wife and I opted to do exactly that. If our house burns down, we want this house built as close to the original as it possibly can be with modern day materials, of course. The other option, a little less expensive, is the actual cash value option. So if my house, is worth $250,000, we'll get $250,000 market value. The difference is on the prior policy, which we took, the replacement cost, it may cost $900,000 to make this house what it is now with modern materials. So again, it really is what you want, but it's important to sit and discuss this with your agent. Very, very important. You don't want to have insurance on your home thinking it's one thing and tragically find out that it's not. So it's just those two, replacement costs versus actual cash value. Big difference in insurance policies.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think lastly, what I would like to say to kind of bounce off that is please pick an agent that lives by you, like in your city. Don't get online and talk to an 800 number.
Right.
Yeah, they can
Right.
sell you insurance, but you got to have a company that will actually pay you if it happens. So you want an advocate, and an advocate for you, just like we are for real estate, is a qualified insurance agent that will help you to determine the right policy for you so you don't end up underinsuring, because that's even more tragic.
Absolutely right.
And it's important too that you do your research, and every couple of years you meet with your insurance agent to review your policy, because sometimes they can save you a lot of money because maybe the price goes up when it shouldn't have. It's one of those things like anything else. Car insurance, you have to stay on top of it and be prepared and check it from time to time.
Just want to add one more thing too in regards to that yearly checkup. Why it's important is the personal property clause, or the personal property section of your insurance policy, which protects your belongings. You may have a change in lifestyle, or you may have a change in material possessions. I was in the guitar business for a long time. When I bought my third house, what I paid initially for my personal property portion of my insurance was X dollars. But when I started to have the house filled with guitars and I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory over the next 3 years, I made sure that I explained that to my insurance agent and I was properly insured. Mm-hmm. Lifestyles change, circumstances change, and that's the only way you're going to make sure you have the correct insurance is if you're getting an annual review. Very, very important.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we live on acreage and my wife has a couple of horses. And so we made sure that the insurance agent knows that, so we are covered from a liability standpoint. God forbid if someone came out and hopped on the horse and fell off and got hurt.
Exactly right.
That's why you need a person here locally that you can physically sit down and talk with.
Yep.
So as always, we hope that this was some good information for you. We appreciate you guys tuning in today. Next week, we're going to be talking about the final walkthrough. I know that maybe sounds silly, but there are some things you need to know about your final walkthrough that you don't want to miss. So Tune in next week, and you guys can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook. You can email us or call us. Our numbers are below. So if you have questions, and again, like Eric usually says, if you are looking to buy a house and you are not in either one of our areas, Even if you're in one of our areas, you don't want to work with us, that's fine too. We can help
Now,
find
why would
you.
they want to do that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm so used to Brandvold being insulted that I just,
I'm aware. Yes,
I
yes, yeah.
we will help find you an agent wherever you
Sure
may
will.
be in this world.
We sure
So,
will.
thanks again, like I said, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
Bye.